think we're going to talk a little bit about the magnitude of our identity, the depth, in fact, the majesty of our identity. We have been taught, first of all, deluded by the devil and deceived to buy into his lies, which brought shame and fear and distance and separation from God. But Jesus remedied that whole problem, and he drew us near and enfolded us, entangled us into himself. And whereas we were only sons of Adam before, which was just only a living soul, Jesus brought us into him, and now we are sons of the last Adam, or actually brothers with the last Adam, of the same seed of our common Father. Jesus and us have a common Father. And so our DNA is the same as him. And what does that make us? Not just a living soul, but a life-giving spirit. Think of it. A life-giving spirit. We think of Jesus being the life-giving spirit. That's awesome. Jesus, yes, of course, you're the Son of God. You're able to give life. That's great. You heal people and you do miracles, and wow, that's super for you. Jesus said, whatever's true of me is true of you, at least in essence. 1 John 4:17, we are as he is in this world. And so we are of the same DNA as Jesus himself. We have within us this reservoir, this being, this core of identity and DNA that has the capacity to give life, the life-giving spirit, just in keeping with Jesus himself. And so I think of that as it relates to us communicating in light or imparting life to people, whether we're laying hands on somebody and imparting healing, calling forth resolution to broken areas in lives, or whatever the broken areas are. We have the capacity to literally give life. Now, let me take this just a step further. That seems a little sketchy, but I'm confident that it's within Father's design, or at least I feel it is. And that is that Jesus said, whenever you need something, whatever, ask the Father through me. Use my name. I'm your connection guy. 1 John, if we sin, we have an advocate. So Jesus says, use me to get to the Father. And the reason is because we had fallen so far that we had no concept of the magnitude and majesty of our identity. So Jesus said, just try me, and over time, I will prove to you that first of all, I'm good. And then if you can believe it, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. And so now you can go straight to the Father. And then not only that, as little supplicators, as little beggar people, but he wants you to eventually to see yourself as co-everything with him. Co-reigners, co-governors, co-life givers, even co-creators. Now, think of how far we had to ascend. We had fallen so far that we had no idea of the perspective of our real identity, our true identity. But Jesus is helping us up, until we're going to see ourselves melded into him. John 17, verse 21. Us and him, him and us, just like Jesus and him are one. And then coming into the life-giving part, where our DNA, which is the same as Jesus, is capable of truly, for real, giving life. Now, first of all, that lands in our head as it's a good thought. I think, Mark, you kind of laid out a few ideas there, seem to be in keeping with the Bible. That's good, Mark. And so it has to start there. But then it has to drop into our heart and be activated as a revelation. And then we have to take steps to exercise into it, to develop, to grow, to move into it. And so thus we have our little light communicating exercise. We could see ourselves as just little supplicators, and oh no, it's just little me, I can't do nothing. And so I just sit here as a needy little receiver, maybe even a needy victim. And God says, no, 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 no. I want you to grow into this life-giving well, this life-giving force. Not apart from God. No, no, 1,000 times no. Not apart from God. With God. As one with God. And that to me gives me a great deal of excitement, great deal of inspiration, and one of the reasons why I like doing little exercises like this with you all. So what do we do with this? What do we do with this? Now, we can sit in our nice little pews and listen to the preacher man preach a sermon, and then we go our way. We've kind of been programmed to do that. So how do we activate that? Well, for me, I have to step into something that I've never done before. And I sometimes get that creatively. In other words, a creative idea, thought, innovative idea comes and you activate. Sometimes it comes from reading a book or hearing a conversation. You say, now wait, I want to do that. So duly noted, written in my calendar, or however you're going to note it, I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to step into that. It is not okay for me to continue to be the same old, same old. And so you draw a line. I'm going to step over into that. So how do I step over it? And that'll be different for each one of us. But the point is to come up into that life-giving spirit capacity